Hey everybody, welcome back to the Harmonious Path with Jen. Today I want to talk about holding space for others as well as for yourself. Now, this is an important concept any time of the year, but it can be especially important now as we approach the holidays because so many people really struggle this time of year for a whole variety of reasons. And it can be really difficult to watch our loved ones struggle. And I know a lot of us, probably most of us, wish we just had a magic wand that we could just wave and poof, make all their worries go away and make them feel better. But such a thing does not exist, and I'm kind of glad that it doesn't because everything we go through, every trial and tribulation has a lesson for us. And I know that sounds like really trite and cliche, but it's really true that everything we go through helps us to grow into better, stronger, more intelligent people. And I know that of all the shit that I've been through in my life, and it's been there, I really wouldn't change any of it because it's all helped me become who I am, and it's helped me become a much stronger person, a much more empathetic person and caring. So if we can't and shouldn't just wave everybody's cares away, what can we do? Just hold space. It's that simple and that difficult. So if you're like me, you see, I'm a fixer. And when somebody I care about is hurting, I want to make them feel better. I will do whatever I can to make them feel better. And not realizing that I really can't do anything. Like there is not a concrete thing that I can do to make somebody who is emotionally hurting feel better. So let me give an example to make this a little more concrete. In the past, if a friend of mine was going through a breakup, I would go over to her house or talk to her on the phone, and I would just sit and talk with her. And that's a really good start. But then instead of just listening to her and talking as needed, I wanted to fix the situation. I wanted her to feel better. I wanted to make my friend stop crying. So I would say empty words of platitude, things that just I thought sounded good, like, oh, you're too good for him anyway, things like that. And of course, none of it did any good. You know, if she really was too good for him, well, clearly she doesn't care because otherwise she wouldn't be on the floor crying. So this really did no good. So what could I have done? Just hold space. It's that simple, and it's that difficult. Here's another example. Recently, a colleague of mine had shared something that had greatly upset her, and immediately the fixer in me just perked up and was like, "Ooh, here's a situation we can ride in like a knight in shining armor and make this person feel better and fix everything." So I thought I would say this wonderfully heartfelt thing. So I said, "Oh, thank you for sharing that. It's really going to help me X, Y, and Z." Boy, did I stick my foot in my mouth. She wasn't sharing the situation in order to help me do anything. She was sharing it because she was hurting and she needed somebody to hear her. All I should have said is, "I hear you. I see you." It's that simple. And you guessed it, that difficult. Another important thing is do not invalidate the person's feelings. So in the case of my friend going through a breakup, I could have said, "Oh, well, I went through this breakup where such and such happened that was so much worse than what you're going through right now." No, don't do that. That invalidates their feelings. This is along the lines of, well, other people have it worse, so why are you upset? That may be true that other people have it worse, but that doesn't mean that what you're feeling in this moment isn't valid. What you are feeling, what your loved ones are feeling is valid. Do not invalidate their feelings. Do not make them have to feel defensive against you. Just listen. If you don't know what to say, just shut up. Just keep your mouth shut. I see you. I hear you. And that's it. I know this is really hard and I'm still learning. So just hang in there. Keep trying. You're not going to get it right on the first go. But if you keep practicing this, the more you do, the more natural it'll come and the easier it will be for the fixer in you to keep their mouth shut and to just say, I see you, I hear you, and to just be with that person. Just hold space for them. So how do you do this for yourself? It's really the same concept, except instead of sitting with your friend, figuratively or metaphorically, you are sitting with yourself and listening to what you need in that moment. So again, I'll share an example. I recently received some upsetting news that in the past would have just sent me in this massive tailspin of anxiety and worry and panic. And yes, I felt all of that cropping up again, but I was able to stop myself and take a few deep breaths and then say, what do I need right now? What do I need to not feel this panic, to not feel this anxiety? Now, this would be the perfect time to just sit with your feelings and just feel them and acknowledge them and let them move through you. But this is still a new practice for me, and that is a really overwhelming thing to face when you've spent so much of your life running from your emotions and trying to numb them. And the concept of just diving right in and feeling that anxiety and that worry can be really overwhelming. So in this moment, I realized that the anxiety was still like right there, just right underneath the surface. And I needed to be gentle with myself. So rather than immediately going into feeling my feelings, I allowed myself to just kind of check out for about 10 minutes. Now, this is not the ultimate goal. You don't want to check out for very long. Set a timer if you really feel that need to just pause and clear your mind before you go forward. So what I did is I have this silly little game on my phone that it takes me about 10 minutes to play through. So I played through that, and when I was done, I was able to then sit and feel my feelings and just sit back and close my eyes and feel everything. And I cried a little bit and I just let myself feel whatever it was and move it through my body. And then once I did that, I was a lot more ready and a lot more able to move forward with my day without letting this worry and anxiety weigh me down. So this holiday season, if a loved one or if you are struggling, remember this concept of holding space. You don't have to say anything. Usually it's better not to. You can ask the person, do you need anything? But chances are probably good they're not going to say, they're not going to need anything. They're just going to want somebody to be with them. So just do that. Just stay quiet and sit with them. And in these days of the pandemic, if that is sitting with them on the phone or sitting with them over a video chat, that's fine too. I can tell you from experience, it is so comforting to have somebody on the other end of that video or the other end of that phone, just sitting, even if neither of you are saying anything. That can be really helpful and really healing. So what are your experiences with holding space? Is this something that you've practiced? Is it a new concept to you? If you have any questions, let me know. Just leave a comment, and until next time, be kind to yourself and those around you, and let your light shine for all the world to see. Bye!